In a country at the top of the world, or the bottom according to your point of view, there's a village that's built around a harbour. So, instead of getting there by buses, cars, trains and bikes, some people that live there had to travel in boats, which are called ferries. This is the story about the smallest of all the ferries, whose name was Fred. It was a cloudy day at Wallaby Wharf. All the ferries were asleep. All that is, except Fred. He was awake. "Morning, Kate," said Fred. "Do you know what day it is?" "I know, Fred," said Kate. "Kite flying." "No, it's when we go out to sea," said Fred. "I've been getting a map of the state." "Fred, we're not allowed to go out in the ocean unless we plan a trip," said Kate. "I know. I may need another compass," said Fred. "Anyway, what are you on about this state?" "Tasmania," said Fred. "I was wanting to go there." Kate suddenly remembered. "Oh, you cheek. Where did you go? We were looking everywhere for you. Last night, Jean told me you went to Tasmania and ended up taken to the tip," she went on. Fred thought he'd better tell her. "I was taken there to get mended and met some red tractor called Massey." "Oh, thank goodness you didn't get scrapped," said Kate. "I'll tell you what. Why don't you visit Tasmania? There's someone who needs to get home." There was, as the someone came walking on the deck. "Hello, Fred," said me. "I've brought a book." "Good day, model writer. I'm to visit your state again," said Fred. So I climbed on Fred. He started his engine, and away we went. As Fred set off for Tasmania, Jean popped up. "Is he off to Tasmania again?" she asked Kate. "Yes, he is, but we don't know where he stays," said Kate. "I think I saw him heading to Snug. We can follow him there." The other ferries agreed with the idea. Fred came to, for the second time, the open water with rocks, where he and the pelican Pete helped the whales out of the harbour. He stopped before going any further. Tasmania was a long way, and it takes a morning and afternoon to cross the ocean. This was another far float he was to make. Where he ended up was with a ship, and he started wandering to a less big city place. "Gee, there isn't another ship to find," said Fred. "I'll have to follow the map." He memorized the route, so began leaving the rocks. Soon, Fred was far away from the rocks and could only see them so tiny. Wow! I never had a chance to see them like that when being far, thinks Fred. Back when I left last night, for the first time, asked me. I was told from Kate as we went to Warner Brothers Movie World. Anyway, keep going south. There's another ship coming, I went on. Oh, I better get out of the way. None of us noticed the other ferries and sub were stalking us as we went on furthermore. It was 2:01 when Fred arrived in a harbour called Devonport. This is where I came in the day before, he thought, as he dropped me off to find a bus. After I left, he decided to find where he met Massey and where he crashed. But unbeknownst to him, he couldn't take the time to notice who was stalking him. Before anyone would stop him, Fred slipped away unnoticed from a harbour master checking. Along the coast he went, passing a house and more, and out across the ocean again till Devonport was gone. Soon he came to another harbour. Hobart! That's it. Things were dark when I came here the last time, so where I stayed was Margate. Massey might not be there, exclaimed Fred. He looked around for a minute, then continued on to Margate after visiting a shop. He had a clever idea. He came to another bay with a boat shed. Next to it was a high school. This was called Taruna Bay. He came to the high school, for it had a workshop. A student came walking up during lunch hour. "Hey Fred, good to see you again," he said. "Hello, Philk. Have you made a boat like me?" asked Fred. "I have. It's another ferry. Tow him out and see who it is," said Philk. Fred went over to the boat shed. He opened the doors and, his surprise, found a black ferry. He pulled him out so as to look clearly. "Hello," said the ferry. "I don't believe we met." "I'm Fred, and Philk said he made you," said Fred. "I have a name too. It's Clammy. My maker made that for me. I'm into making boats," said Philk, "but the high school wanted me to make what it likes." "I'll keep your secret safe," said Fred. "That's the last time you sneaked into class at lunchtime." "I know," said Philk. "It wants me to make past history stuff, which I've already done. Now take him with you, so I won't get into trouble." So Fred took Clammy away. Luke, as you don't know, is a good naughty boy. He made history things, but sometimes when nobody in high school knew what he was doing, he gets into making things he likes. He walks to the boat shed and makes clammy. Sometimes he sneaks into classrooms when lunchtime is up, which tells his teacher and headmaster he was roaming about. Today, his secret job was done, and he never got into trouble thanks to Fred's help till he left to visit college. Fred took Clammy along Kingston Beach, heading to Blackman's Bay. "You'll need petrol to move," said Fred. "There's a petrol station just there." "Oh, good," said Clammy. "Philk couldn't find a petrol can at the high school." "Schools don't make petrol, only factories. Besides, it gives them a bad taste," said Fred. "Ah, there's Massey from New Zealand." Massey was visiting the beach. "Good day, Fred. Who's this Ferry?" "This is Clammy. He's built from Tona Bay," said Fred. "Pleased to meet you," said Clammy. "Fred took me here to get petrol. I've been to the tipyard this morning. It's all right, so I'll fill it up. It's a can I'm talking about. I just found it." Massey drove to the petrol station. He came back with it. Once Clammy was filled up, he tried starting his engine, but he forgot he didn't have an engine. "No worries," said Fred. "We'll find an engine somewhere." "I've got a truck's engine too," said Massey. "I'll meet you in Margate." They met up in Margate, and Massey insisted to take Clammy to the warehouse to let the workmen do the installment. Then, after being properly finished, he started his engine. "There, no more towing," he chanted. Fred was pleased his new friend was working. Philk will be pleased. He and Clammy said goodbye to Massey and were just about to leave when they stopped to look up to sea. In the distance were the other ferries and sub. Fred realized it was Kate, Bill, Lou, and Jean. "Uh-oh. They mustn't see what we're doing," said he. "What are you doing?" asked Clammy. "Follow me. I'm heading to Snug, where I stayed," said Fred. They zoomed away out of Margate. After a long chase, and re-chase float for the two of them. Fred and Clammy found what they were looking for. Snug Bay. Fred came here last month to help anyone to Booney Island way back in 2001, only for 3 days. It had been a long time till he came again. This is a surprise welcome party, Clammy, said Fred. We're to decorate the harbour, then wait for the others. I've got quite a story to tell them. Me too, said Clammy. It's a non-float, as I've been in the shed. So they decorated the harbour. When finished, they rested to wait. What a surprise for the followers as Kate, Bill, Lou and Jean caught up. We thought you would come here to snug, said Kate. What's all this? We created this party so all of us would share it during a living, said Fred. By the way, my new friend, Clammy. Clammy had quite a story to tell after being introduced to Fred's sister and their friends. And so did Fred. The party involved a cake, which isn't fish style. It was a success. Even Massey visited along with Philk. Fred introduced Kate to them, and Clammy told him he got his engine fitted. I've got this to tell you, said Philk. The high school asked me if I finished the homework. I said it's been done, and no one asked if I made you. Glad you didn't get found out after 3 months, said Clammy. Philk is a rascal, said Kate. Was he skipping high school? He sneaked to the workshop, but hasn't gone to math, a learning centre, art, or anywhere of the school. So yes, he has, said Fred. I think we should help him. Me too, said Kate. And we better give Clammy a home. I heard what she's saying, said Clammy. I've been wanting to live in New Zealand for years. When do you want to go? Asked the other fairies. Next day, because my owner is worried, said Clammy. But I like to look round Tasmania first. Worry about the planned trip. Right now, we're enjoying the welcome party, said Fred. When the party ended, the fairies and Sub went to sleep. Fred was looking forward to looking round Tasman Shoulder and hoping to collect more friends and a visit to New Zealand. But he had to arrange Philk to a new school if he moves with Clammy.